Imagine this. It's 7:30 a.m. in Chicago, Austin, or Los Angeles. Your alarm blares. Most people hit snooze and reach for coffee. But right now, 1 out of every 3 Gen Z workers across America is doing something very different. They're reaching for a joint, a vape pen, a shot of whiskey, or a prescription pill before they even open their laptop or step out the door. Not on Friday night. Not at a party. Before their workday even begins. According to a brand new April 2026 survey by Drug Rehab USA that polled 1,000 American adults, 35% of Gen Z openly admit they use substances before clocking in. 56% use them after work just to recover from the stress of the day. And nearly 1 in 3 are sneaking hits during lunch breaks, in their car or the bathroom stall. This isn't some fringe group living on the edge. This is your coworkers, your friends, maybe even you. Stop for a second and ask yourself, why is an entire generation waking up every single morning and choosing to get high just to survive 8 hours of work? Today we're going deep, really deep, into the hidden psychology behind this exploding trend. I'm not here to shame anyone. I'm here to explain it so clearly that it finally makes sense, and so you can actually do something about it. If you're Gen Z and this feels uncomfortably familiar, if you're a manager watching your team quietly struggle, or if you're a parent, older millennial, or anyone who cares about the next generation, stay with me until the very end. Because what I'm about to share could completely change how you see work, stress, burnout, and yourself. Let's get into it. Let's start with the cold, hard facts that are honestly shocking even the researchers. The 2026 Drug Rehab USA survey dropped just weeks ago, and it's making headlines for a reason. 35% of Gen Z using substances before work. 56% using them after work to decompress. Nearly a third using during the workday. For comparison, only 10% of baby boomers said they show up under the influence. Gen Z is more than 3 times as likely. Millennials are actually slightly higher at 37% before work. The most common substances: alcohol, 57%, cannabis, 54%, nicotine, 48%, with anxiety meds and ADHD stimulants rising fast. And here's the part almost nobody is talking about. 84% of the people in this survey said financial stress is the single biggest trigger for their substance use. Now you're probably wondering, why is this happening right now in 2026? It's not laziness. It's not kids these days can't handle life. It's self-medication, plain and simple. Your brain has a built-in stress system called the HPA axis. When it's constantly switched on, which it is for most Gen Z, it floods your body with cortisol. Chronic high cortisol literally rewires your brain to crave fast relief. Substances deliver that relief in seconds. Cannabis quiets the racing thoughts. Alcohol gives a quick dopamine hit and dulls the overwhelm. A pill can silence the "I'm not enough" voice that social media and hustle culture turned up to maximum volume. Psychologists call this the self-medication hypothesis. People aren't partying. They're trying to function in a world that feels impossible. And Gen Z is under more pressure than any generation before them at this age. Record student debt, sky-high rent and housing costs that make the American dream feel like a cruel joke. Constant comparison on social media. A job market that demands you be always on. Plus the collective trauma of watching the pandemic shatter normal life, right when you were supposed to launch your future. The numbers back this up hard. Aflac's 2025 to 2026 workforces report found 74% of Gen Z is experiencing moderate to high burnout, the highest of any generation and 17 years earlier than previous ones. Deloitte's 2025 Gen Z and Millennial survey shows 40% of Gen Z feel stressed or anxious almost all the time, with work being a major driver. There's another layer most people completely miss: dopamine dysregulation. Modern work, especially remote or hybrid, bombards you with constant tiny dopamine hits from Slack pings, emails, and endless tasks, but rarely delivers the big, satisfying reward our brains evolved to expect. So your brain stays in this exhausting, hungry, but never full state. Substances flood the system with dopamine in one shot. It feels like medicine until it becomes the problem. Let's talk about the American reality Gen Z actually inherited. Financial stress is crushing. Grocery prices, rent, utilities, car insurance. Everything costs more while wages haven't kept up. 84% of survey respondents pointed directly to money worries as the main reason they reach for substances. Add in the toxic mix of quiet quitting culture versus hustle porn on LinkedIn and TikTok. You're told to set boundaries, but also that if you're not working 60 hours or building a side hustle, you're falling behind. The result? Pure emotional exhaustion. Many Gen Zers told researchers things like, "I need to be high just to tolerate back-to-back Zoom calls. It's the only way I can focus when my brain won't stop spiraling." And here's the part that hurts the most. Employers have almost no idea this is happening. Most companies still treat it as a motivation or attitude problem instead of a mental health and workplace design crisis. This coping strategy comes with a real price. Short-term, foggy thinking, slower reactions, more mistakes, and that drained feeling the next day. Long-term, dependency, rebound anxiety when the substance wears off, wrecked sleep cycles, and a brain that forgets how to handle stress naturally. The survey also found 23% of young cannabis users already reporting actual work problems because of it. But here's the most important truth I want you to burn into your mind. The substances aren't the root problem. The unbearable, unrelenting stress is. If we don't fix the environment, people will just keep finding new ways to cope. So what can you actually do if this is you or someone you love? First and most powerful step, name it without shame. Just saying out loud, "I'm using this to manage stress, not because I'm broken or weak," immediately lowers the guilt and opens the door to real change. Second, start replacing the quick chemical hit with proven micro-recoveries that actually work. Try the physiological sigh, 2 quick inhales through the nose followed by a long exhale. It's the fastest way science knows to calm your nervous system. Do a 10-minute cold shower or brisk walk outside. It gives natural dopamine without the crash. Use box breathing, 4 seconds in, for hold, 4 out, for hold, before stressful meetings. Third, redesign your actual workday. This is huge block deep work time with 0 notifications. Say no to unnecessary meetings. Negotiate one remote or flexible day if possible. Even small changes like this can dramatically lower the need for substances. Fourth, go after the root with evidence-based tools. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, techniques. Challenge the "I have to be productive every second" thoughts that fuel the cycle. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, or short daily mindfulness practices. Studies show they reduce stress and the biological craving for self-medication. Strength training or consistent exercise, proven to regulate cortisol and dopamine naturally. Prioritize real sleep hygiene and real-world social connection, not just online scrolling. Fifth, advocate for change. Companies that offer genuine mental health days, flexible hours, realistic workloads, and open conversations about stress are already seeing lower substance use. You don't have to fix the entire system alone, but your voice matters. The goal isn't to become some superhuman who never feels stress. The goal is to build a life where you don't need to get high just to make it through Tuesday. Look, 35% of Gen Z getting high before work isn't a kids these days story. It's a flashing red warning light on the dashboard of American work culture in 2026. We inherited broken systems, impossible expectations, and an economy that rewards burnout. But we also have more tools and awareness about mental health than any generation in history. The question isn't, why are they getting high? The real question is, what are we going to do differently so the next generation doesn't have to? If this video hit you in the chest, drop a comment right now with the number 35 if you've ever felt this pressure. Tell me honestly, are you Gen Z dealing with this? A manager who's shocked? A parent watching your kid struggle? I read every single comment.